Hey guys,
Hey!
we got a horror movie for you, but it's not aliens, but we thought we might as well throw this in as a filler as we don't have enough time right now for an elaborate review of aliens, so instead we got just something else that you may want to check out. It is Red Water. Red Water, pretty simple title, but adequate, and it's a pretty good shark movie. I mean, it's rare that outside the Jaws series that you find any decent shark movie. I think this is one.
This is one along with Deep Blue Sea, but we're not going to go into that just yet. Red Water, there are some complaints I have about the movie, but the biggest complaint of them all is that the cover is a false advertisement. It is not a great white shark movie.
No, unfortunately not, but hey, fortunately not as well, because hey, it's a chance to get a different shark into a movie for once, because it's always the great white. People forget there's other, even more dangerous sharks out there.
And it is actually the bull shark. And what surprises me, and I watch Animal Planet, I watch National Geographic, I watch Shark Week, everyone should, because sharks are still being killed off and are considered monsters when they're not.
They're fascinating animals.
They're animals. They just do what they do, and we just happen to get in the way sometimes in their process in life. But anyway, what a lot of people fail to realize is that the great white is number 3 in the top 10 most dangerous sharks in the world. It is only the third dangerous. The second would be the tiger shark. But
that one is vicious, yeah.
And he is vicious, yes. Tiger sharks are vicious because they will eat practically anything. They don't think about it. They're like the trash disposals of the sea.
Yeah.
That's how scientists describe them. Bull sharks, however, are the first and the most dangerous shark in the world because of a few reasons. One is that they have a testosterone level that is far more...
It's much higher than that of other sharks.
Yeah, it is much more higher than other sharks. And they are more popular in many parts of the world or the globe. And first and foremost, they can live in fresh water.
So yeah, but in other words, they can come up river, something a great white could never do.
No, a great white would die because they have to constantly be swimming in salt water, whereas bull sharks can convert from seawater to fresh water.
That of course just adds to the danger they pose. So I'm glad to see a shark movie that at least blames a different shark for a change.
It's sad, really, because the entire Jaws movie was based off a true story about an attack that happened off, I think it was New Jersey, where people were killed off in sea and then were killed upriver as well.
But that was a bull shark.
They all assumed it was a great white.
It must have been a bull shark.
It
but
was.
Anyway,
it has
we're getting way off track here.
Okay, to the movie.
Back to the movie. Now, the plot of this movie is pretty simple, but it makes for an interesting race, you could say, because there is... Yeah, I'm just gonna quote here from IMDb. A freshwater shark wreaks havoc as it heads up a Louisiana river. Now,
accurate.
That is accurate, but that's not the whole plot, actually. What it is about, you can tell us.
Well, there's two plots to this thing. There's one plot, kind of like from the start, that has to deal with drug dealers, and one of the dealers finds out that a guy that ripped off one of his deals hid the money in a river, in the Louisiana River, and wants him whacked, basically, and to get the money back. So he sends 2 of his henchmen up to go get it.
Yeah.
And the other plot is about our hero character, John Sanders, played by Lou Diamond Phillips. He's a fisherman on Louisiana, and he's having some debt problems with his boat because he's not making a whole lot of money as a fisherman. He previously was a worker on an oil rig that happens to be an oil rig in the Louisiana River. His ex-wife shows up along with the son's owner, the business owner's son, who wants to make a load of money off this oil rig. And they ran into some problems, and since John Sanders was the best oil man guy at the time, they came back to ask him if he would give them a hand. Of course he doesn't want to, and then one thing leads to another, he joins up anyway, and there you go. The two plots kind of collide together.
Yeah, so that's basically it. It's basically a race for treasure that... I don't know, these people were looking for different things, and of course there's a shark in the mix.
Yeah, the shark being the environmental hazard more than anything else.
Yeah, the shark is not really the main focus in this movie, even though he takes up more than half the cover. But speaking of the cover shows a great white, as we already established. That's bullshit.
It's not a great white. It's a bull shark.
But hey, I get that's one of the things that sparked my interest in this movie. So okay, it worked. But I have to say one thing. The shark effects were pretty damn good. I mean, it was animatronics, but hey, it were good ones. And they even looked better than some of the Jaws sequels. Not the original, the sequels. And that's gotta say something.
There was more animatronics than there were CGI. When the CGI was used, it was really for some quick water scenes and quick out-of-the-water attack scenes.
Granted, that CGI looked bad, but it was only there for like a fraction of a second or two. It's really not that long. Most of the time, the shark is an animatronic, and I think it was a good-looking one. It
was very accurate to what a real bull shark looks like, only it was like probably 3 times bigger than the average bull shark.
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, even bigger than a great white. So that's not accurate. But you know what? In the Jaws movies, well, the shark always is the size of a freaking megalodon, so it's completely fine.
Yeah, Jaws was nearly as big as Megalodon, but
he was as big as Megalodon in Jaws 3.
I would argue he was big as an orca, and not as big as Megalodon. Megalodon was about the size of a humpback whale.
Yeah, but
we're not. We're getting off topic again. Sorry, I love sharks too. I'm a shark fanatic.
So do I. But Redwater, I gotta say, this was a TV movie from 2003, and for that, it was pretty damn good. For what I think, it could have been released theatrically. In my opinion, would have been good enough. I mean, it is way better than some of the shark movies that were made on by companies such as New Image. I mean, just think of Shark Attack. Shark Attack is a horrible movie in comparison to this. So, this one's decent. I would check it out if you can at some point. It's pretty easy to get. It's out on DVD for all German viewers watching. It is rated 16. So, grab it off eBay for €1 or €2 and you'll be fine.
And for US viewers out there, it's probably cheap as hell off shelves or off eBay. I would predict it would be under $10 at least.
And it's rated R. It's 1.5 hours long, so the length is good. It's rated R. That means there's some gore in here. It's what you expect from a shark movie. And of course there's language, but hey, it's the usual stuff. It's a pretty good movie.
So what's your rating?
My personal rating, I mean, I just looked at IMDb. IMDb says 3.9 out of 10. That has to be the lowest rating we ever had on our show here. So, I gotta say, that's bullshit for the bull shark, and it's a 6.5 from me, because I think this movie was slightly above average for shark movies. It was decent. Not as good as Deep Blue Sea. Definitely not as good as Jaws, but it was decent. It was a good, decent surprise. So, 6.5.
I give it a 6, only because some of the actors, like the drug dealer guys, were a little over the top cliche, like, yeah, we know you're a drug dealer, get on with it.
What do you expect if one of the bad guys is played by Coolio?
Yeah. I don't even know him very well.
He's a rapper as far as I know.
Great.
In case that wasn't obvious enough in the movie, but that's beside the point. This is a decent shark movie. Check it out if you want.
Yeah. Adios, guys.
See ya.